Hi everyone, I am Arpita Sharma, your guide, your mentor, your best friend, and also your educator. I happen to be the founder of this channel, Arpita Sharma Classes, and I'm very proudly announcing that we today are starting this podcast series for all of you, wherein I'm going to share my own life learnings, experiences with all of you. Those life learnings have come out of the experiences that I've gone through in the last 4 to 5 years, and also the books that have come handy to me, and they were my best friends when I was going through some of the most troublesome years of my life. Now, these experiences are both personal and professional. So make sure that you tune in to this podcast series. Regularly, we are going to update this podcast series on alternative days. 6 p.m. will be the fixed time for these podcast series to get featured on our channel. I hope that you will appreciate this efforts from our team and also will resonate on some scale to the experiences and the feelings and the emotions that I went through. Let's start. So, today's topic that I'm going to discuss with all of you is knowing your own self worth. Now, it may sound very obvious. Yes, we are humans. We should know that we are worth something. We know we love ourselves. We know what our worth is, blah, blah, blah. But do we actually realize that we are worth something? Or do we look at ourselves through somebody else's perspectives and opinions? Now, 4 to 5 years back, not 4 to 5 years back, almost you can say 6 to 7 years back, I was a kind of girl who used to look at myself through my father's eyes. Not just my father's eyes, through my friends' eyes, through my relatives' opinions, perspectives, etc. I used to look at myself in the eyes of my relatives, my friends, my parents, my siblings. And that was the biggest mistake that anybody could probably commit or do. But I cannot blame myself for that, no, neither should you, because we were very small, very young back then. But as I grew up, as I realized, as I experienced things in my life, I had this epiphany that I am worth a lot and I should look at myself probably through my own eyes, because the other people, they look at us with their own judgment, with their own experiences, with their own projections, with their own mind, with their own thoughts, etc., which may differ from person to person. Your mother might think that you are the best child in your family, but your father might think otherwise, or your siblings might think otherwise, or your relatives or your friends might think otherwise. Right? For every mother, her child is the best. But that is not true for your relatives or for your friends, right? They might see you differently. So that is why different people view you differently. So we should never look at ourselves with their eyes. That is the biggest mistake that we commit, and many of us are committing. Still, unknowingly, we look at ourselves through our husband's eyes or through our wife's eyes, through our children's eyes, through our parents' eyes, through their opinion, through their perspective, through society's eyes. And that is wrong. If you want to do something good in life, if you want to make something out of yourself, if you want to follow or fulfill your passion or goal, the first step is to know your own self-worth, to look at yourself through your own eyes. दूसरा आपके बारे में क्या सोचता है, आप कैसे दिखते हो, आपका फेस कैसा है, आप बोलते कैसे हो, आपका नेचर कैसा है, आपका बिहेवियर कैसा है, आप कैसे उठते बैठते हो, ये मैटर नहीं करता, क्योंकि हर इंसान अपने पर्सपेक्टिव, अपने जजमेंट, अपने एक्सपीरियंस के हिसाब से आपको देखेगा, आपको जज करेगा. एवरीबडी आउट देयर इज देयर टू जज यू. ट्रस्ट मी, दैट इज अ ब्रूटल truth. I'm just, making you realize that everybody is judgmental. Even we, to some extent, are judgmental. We also judge very quickly, right? So that is why never look at yourself through somebody else's opinions or perspective. You yourself should know your self-worth. Nobody else should be allowed or should be given the power to tell you who you actually are. You should know yourself, whether you are good or bad, you should have the knowledge about it. अगर आप कुछ गलत भी कर रहे हो, आपको knowledge होनी चाहिए कि आप कुछ गलत कर रहे हो. You are the one who are going to correct yourself, your soul. So you should know whether you are a good folk or a bad person. or or you can say irritating person. You should know about it ना. आपको आपके साथ जिंदगी गुजारनी है ना, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए आप कैसे हो, आपको पता होना चाहिए आपकी वर्थ क्या है, आपको पता होना चाहिए आपकी कैपेबिलिटीज क्या है. यू शुड नो व्हाट योर कैपेबिलिटीज आर. नोबडी एल्स इज गोइंग टू डिफाइन दैट फॉर यू. Who is the other person who is going to define you who you are? No, even not your parents can define who you are, because उनका लाइफ टाइम अलग था, उनका जनरेशन अलग था, उनके एक्सपीरियंसेस और उनके टाइम में अपॉर्चुनिटीज डिफरेंट थी यार. वो कैसे डिफाइन कर सकते हैं कि तुम किस काबिल हो, क्या कर सकते हो, क्या नहीं कर सकते हो? ये तो तुम डिफाइन करोगे ना, तुम बताओगे कि तुम किस काबिल हो, क्या कर सकते हो, क्या नहीं कर सकते हो. Your parents lived in a different set of year, in a different set of opportunities, in a different set of generation. They have a different mindset. You were born in a different year, with a different mindset, with different set of opportunities. Nobody actually, other than you, can define your capabilities, your abilities. Now the world is changing. After COVID, the world has completely transformed. The opportunities have changed. अब आपके फादर या मदर के टाइम पर जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज थी, अब तो बिल्कुल ही जमाना चेंज हो गया है, राइट? तो इसीलिए always remember, nobody can define you, nobody can tell you that you cannot do this or you are not capable of achieving this. Trust me, nobody can do that, right? So don't give in to somebody else's judgment. किसी और की जजमेंट की वजह से अपने घुटने नहीं टेकने हैं तुम लोगों को. If you have taken a decision, make sure that you stand by it. Experiment with your decisions, explore options, explore opportunities, grab them. Who is stopping you? And if you are being stopped by someone, that means you are in the wrong company, my friend. Okay? So this was today's learning. Now I'm not keeping this podcast way too longer. 7 to 8 minutes is max, right? So in order to not bore you with my ramblings, I hope you enjoyed this initiative. If you really appreciate or enjoy this initiative, let me know in the comment section as well. That will give me motivation to create more such podcast, right? And I will be coming up with new topics. You can let me know what topics do you want me to speak on in the comment section. I'll be waiting for your suggestions. Thank you and have a sweet and bubbly day ahead.